The Will and Jada sagas and entanglements and drama was out of the mainstream.
Bro,
here we are again.
Being around Will for 38 years and Jada for almost 3 decades, I saw a lot of things that I believe to be criminal.
If you expect to be with somebody forever, it's like, let's get real with it from the gate, you know?
For decades, Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith weren't just famous. They were trusted. They represented growth, healing, emotional intelligence. They sold the idea that if you were honest enough, evolved enough, and real enough, you could survive anything, even a Hollywood marriage. And that's exactly why this story hit differently. Because this isn't just celebrity drama. It's about language, power, silence, and what happens when the story you tell no longer matches what people see. This is the complete breakdown, every moment, every contradiction, and why the Smiths' story is still unfinished. They openly rejected traditional marriage norms, while still presenting themselves as deeply connected and emotionally evolved. This image matters, because everything that follows only lands if you understand how solid this once felt. In June 2020, that image cracked. Singer August Alsina claimed publicly that he had been romantically involved with Jada Pinkett Smith, and that Will Smith had given his blessing. At first, the Smiths denied it. Instead of letting the story fade, Jada chose to address it herself, publicly, directly, and strategically. She brought Will Smith to the red table.
The only person that could give permission in that particular circumstance is myself.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. But what August was probably trying to communicate, because I could actually see how he would perceive it as permission, because we were separated amicably.
Yeah.
And I think he also wanted to make it clear that he's not a homewrecker.
She frames the situation as deeply personal, something that somehow escaped into the public conversation. Calm, measured, controlled, but control doesn't last. As the conversation continues, Jada begins explaining the state of her marriage at the time she met August Alsina.
I just wanted to feel good. It had been so long since I felt good.
Right.
And it was really a joy to just help heal somebody. You and I were going through a very difficult time.
Yeah.
And we decided...
I was done with your ass.
Yeah,
No therapy language, no soft framing. Jada continues.
you kicked me to the curb.
I was done with you.
Yeah. We
Marriages have that, though. Marriages have that.
Yeah, we basically, we broke up.
And then what did you do, Jada?
Well, you know, I think from there, you know, as time went on, I got into a different kind of entanglement with August.
Yes, we know entanglement is vague as hell, but thankfully, Will pressed her to be more clear.
An entanglement?
Yes. Yes.
A relationship?
Yes, it was a relationship, absolutely.
Yes, it was a relationship. No narration, no interpretation, just let it land. She wanted to feel good, that she was trying to help heal someone else. For many viewers, this didn't feel like accountability, it felt like justification. And once that perception sets in, it changes everything. The conversation closes with a line that defines the aftermath.
We ride together,
We die together.
Bad marriage for life.
That sentence alone reshaped the narrative. Memes followed, jokes exploded. But underneath the humor, sympathy shifted. For the first time, a large part of the public didn't see Will Smith as powerful. They saw him as resigned. Years later, Jada attempts to clarify the confusion.
Talks about you all the time.
Right.
You know, just lots of rumors and tabloids and all of that. And you were very careful in the book not in a whiny way or whatever. Let me clarify this.
Right.
Let me clarify these things that have been said. And one of the things that you are careful to clarify is it was never an open relationship.
Thank you. I'm glad, yes. It was
a transparent. You say it's a transparent relationship. And what do you mean by that?
So transparent meaning, look, I wasn't gonna fool myself into thinking that we as 20-some-year-olds, babies, mind you, getting married and living in Tinseltown, spending a lot of time apart, okay, that we weren't gonna run into temptation situations.
You're young, beautiful, rich, temptation.
Right.
You're apart a lot. Temptation is raining down on
Right,
you. Yeah.
exactly, right? And I'm like, hey, we got to be in partnership with this. Like, I wanted to face it head on and just go, I didn't want to create a culture of deceit or betrayal between us. And I just wanted to be real about it from the gate. I had seen so much just with, I knew what street fame brought dudes, okay? I knew what street fame brought. And I'm like, if street fame does that, I can only imagine what global fame does. And from me, my own experience walking into rooms, all eyes on me, and how intoxicating that was as a young woman. You know what I mean? It's like I had been there and done that, you know, in regards to my earlier years before I met Will. But I just knew that I just wasn't going to set myself up that way. But it was never an open marriage, you know, and like either one of us get to do whatever we want to do. That was never the case.
As you say in the book, it's about eliminating the possibility of betrayal.
Yeah.
If something happens or you want it to happen, talk about it.
Absolutely.
Which is the healthiest way to go in.
Listen.
Because it happens to everybody.
Everybody. Listen, if you expect to be with somebody forever, it's like, let's get real with it from the gate.
If one partner admits to outside relationships and the other does not, what's the functional difference? The language changes. The clarity doesn't improve. Until now, every major detail came from the Smiths themselves. That changes when Brother Bilal speaks. He claims to have known Will Smith for nearly 38 years. He says he lived in the Smith household. He says he appears in Will's music and autobiography. Then the stakes escalate. Brother Bilal alleges inappropriate material existed in shared living spaces where minors were present.
You know, about the sexual things they were doing allegedly to certain people and all that. And I told you that Jada was addicted to So how Jada would watch at the house is she had her laptop, she would stick her hard drive in, right? Boom, and hook it up to the TV. And she could play whatever video she watching. So now, I'm seeing videos of her and Will and a bunch of some celebrities, everything. Because remember, the last interview I told you, if you don't sue me, I'm gonna let people know who you've been hitting with them dildos. I don't know if you remember that, but I remember, your wino's gonna remember it. And I said, if you don't sue, I'm gonna sue. So I told you, being Muslim, whatever I say I'm gonna do, that's what I'm gonna do. Period. And I gotta have evidence. So we not playing. That's why they didn't sue. So back to these discs with all these this self-homemade on it or whatever.
This is no longer about marriage dynamics or public embarrassment. This is about legal definitions, specifically child endangerment, and those laws don't care about fame. Viewers begin re-examining old footage. Interviews resurface.
There's a distance in terms of affection shown between the general and his son.
Absolutely.
Is it like that at home or no?
Nah, not really.
We're very affectionate.
But have you ever
We're very affectionate.
He tried to kiss me in the
have you ever kissed your son on Thai television before?
You're not looking to kiss
Can
my
you kiss your
son.
on Thai
I
television?
can kiss my son. That's Jada. Come on.
Are you okay? Are you okay?
Oh my God, this is ridiculous.
Yes.
What are you saving for?
I'm gonna buy my parents' house.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna buy your parents' house from them?
From them, yes.
Okay. Will they then stay there with you?
No, I'm gonna give them a little apartment.
None of this is proof, but it adds context and raises questions. The focus expands further. Will Smith has mentored young male artists before, including Brisher Gray.
Great, I'm watching him, he's with my man Charlie Mack, so Charlie was with me every step of the way. First out the limo, so Charlie has been with me, 30 years coming up in the business. So, he's surrounded by a whole lot of strength, he's surrounded by a whole lot of love, and all he has to do is add discipline, and he gonna be all right.
It's like Uncle Will, who is best to give you advice, and it's Will Smith, and I'm getting so much good advice. I got my first acting role, Empire, and it's changing my life, and it's like I'm listening from the greatest, and it's like making me well prepared to work with Taraji and Terrence Howard,
Brother Bilal claims similar patterns and references alleged video evidence involving actor Alfonso Ribeiro.
An interview with Will Smith grabbing Alfonso Ribeiro, squeezing his nipple and trying to put his finger in his. Jada responded to the first global interview that I did with you.
That was a global interview.
Yes, it went all over the world.
It was in Arabic, I saw it.
Yeah, it's India, everywhere. I talked for 2 hours.
Okay.
And I said some pretty, what some people may think to be outrageous things, but I knew them to be true and had the evidence to show that it was true. That's when Jada responded out of anger, not out of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Because for her to be a global iconic superstar, you rushed to the Breakfast Club to say, number one, that, I extorted you, there was a money shakedown. You said you didn't have all the facts. So that puts you in legal jeopardy right now. You said all the facts will come out. None of the facts came out. Now you, Will, and yourself are in legal jeopardy. Her lawyer sends me a cease and desist letter, which I had to report him to the bar. Kenneth B. Hertz, because he said I never knew Will, that I never worked for Will, and that he said he represented Willard Carroll Smith, which is Will's real name, but he was asking me to take down statements from Jada. So that's what we call in law overreaching. You cannot, if you're saying you represent Will, you can't compel me to do something against Jada, right? So I already knew that I had him legally. So I said, okay, I got y'all. Now, once that happened, there was another interview, of course, when she came outside and reiterated that she was suing, right? And there was another interview with TMZ just after that where one of the cameramen asked Jada, hey, Jada, have you seen Will with any men before? And her answer was no. So now that's a lie too, because I put out an interview with Will Smith grabbing Alfonso Ribeiro, squeezing his nipple and trying to put his finger in his. After that, they reached out to me through many people, one being Charles Austin, AKA Charlie Mack, the federal informant. He reached out to me through a friend. From my understanding, allegedly, it was Will and Charlie.
Allegations, not convictions. But notably, no clear, comprehensive denials. Jada Pinkett Smith eventually responds publicly. On The Breakfast Club, she accuses brother Bilal of extortion.
Jada said she was going to sue you. Did she sue you? And why are you suing her? Can you elaborate there?
So, well, yes, Jada went on several platforms, The Breakfast Club, TMZ, saying that she was going to sue me and so forth, and so on. Will was going to sue me. And the answer is no, because you can't sue somebody for telling the truth, right? That's number one. Then number two is that I said in an interview, if she didn't sue me, I was going to sue her. And I dared her to sue me because, like I said, being around Will for 38 years and Jada for almost 3 decades, I saw a lot of things that I believe to be criminal within that time. So at the end of the day, if you want to say you're going to sue or whatever, now's your chance. You could just countersue, right? But she hasn't done nothing yet. The only thing she's done was allegedly pay all these people like Megyn Kelly, the TMZs, and all these people to put smear campaigns out on me, right? Megyn Kelly's called me a glamour. I never knew Will. Well, how did I never know Will? And we got, I'm on this, he just shot me out on his first album and all the way to his book, Will, his autobiography, where he talks about me in the book, put my picture in the book, and put my name in the book. So it's no denying that. And if you pay a little bit more, you'll see how repugnant and diabolical Megyn Kelly is for some money.
Instead, legal action moves in the opposite direction. Reports describe a confrontation at Will Smith's 53rd birthday party, allegations of threats, an NDA demand, a refusal to sign.
It's back. Now, a man by the name of Bilal Salam alleges that Jada and her entourage basically rolled up on him at a birthday party in 2021. He said he was very close friends with Will for decades. But Jada and about 7 other people confronted him at Will's 53rd birthday party. And he claims that she became very aggressive, She told him that if he didn't stop telling her personal business, that he would end up missing or catch a bullet. That's what he's saying. He also claims that Jada was demanding that he sign like a non-disclosure agreement. And he said months later, they actually needed his help. He claims that, after Will's infamous Oscar slap, they were trying to use him to help him with crisis management. But according to the lawsuit, it says the plaintiff refused to perform tasks he believed to be illegal, unethical, or morally compromising. And he's basically saying that he didn't want to be involved in any cover-up or deceptive PR campaigns. And now he feels like they're retaliating against him, and he's suing her for $3 million.
So the threat was regarding what exactly? Rewind that for me.
So the threat was, stop telling my personal business. And he's claiming that she said, or end up missing or catch a bullet, according to him. That's what he's saying.
Got it. And he was working with the family.
That's what it sounds like, because he says he was very close to Will for years. And at one point they needed him. But he refused to cooperate with, stuff that he felt was illegal.
What began as a private family issue becomes a formal legal dispute. At this point, one thing is clear. The Smiths have spoken often and selectively. They've used language carefully. They've clarified when it suited them. But they've also remained silent when stakes were highest. No definitive resolutions. No sweeping denials. Only contradictions, reframing, and unanswered claims. And it leaves one question hanging over everything. If this is what they were willing to admit publicly, what required silence? And more importantly, what hasn't been said yet?